Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. I know it's been a while since I last did a video due to COVID and shit like that, but on this video I thought I'd try and do a bit of a how-to and a bit of a guide to newcomers and people that are just getting back into PCs, people who have been away for a while and are not sure what to expect now on what's going on in the PC world, no pun intended. So what this video is about is actually getting used to installing your own new SSD. We won't go into anything too major like migrating files, migrating your operating system to your SSD for quicker boot times, but what we're going to do is basically essentially look at the SSD itself, go through all the rigmarole, what is an SSD, sizes, comparison, where to put it, where to install it, and pretty much a bit of a guide on what to do with an SSD. So yeah, let's have a look. And before people say I'm on my phone because my cheap ass camera decided to die. It is only recording in corrupted files, so it means I'm going to have to buy my new camera sooner than I thought. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, your new SSD is one of these. Mine's already connected because prior to the old video recording it ballsed up, so there is your SSD right there. So two things you're going to need when you're going to install an SSD is one, you're going to need an SSD data cable and also a spare SATA cable to power your SSD. On the motherboard side, excuse the fan noise, you're also going to need a spare SATA port right about there. So, excuse the fingers, that is my old HDD, that is the new SSD. So you're going to need at least one spare free SSD. Most motherboards these days have more than one, so you're going to be fairly easy on where to accessibly plug in your SSD. And I'll say that again whilst my teeth are in. So, storage. Most or some motherboard cases actually allow you to put your SSD right here on the power supply shroud. Some actually have screw brackets to allow you to put your SSD right into your case. Most SSDs will also come with one of these little plastic brackets, like a cage or a shroud, which has double-sided tape on, so you can pop your SSD wherever you want it to go. So you can put it there, you can put it there, you can probably put it there if you want it, although that isn't recommended. But we do have space for your SSDs. Most cases as well will have a space at the back of your case, somewhere down here. You can't really tell, but where's a bit? You've got a couple of cages down there where you can actually put your SSD, and you'll see something very similar to this, which is on the back of your case or chassis. You might have one, you might have two, but you generally will have at least one of these, which the fact is you just take that off, pop your SSD on there, and that's it, you're good to go, you've placed your SSD. So we've covered the basics of what cover the basics of what you're actually going to need. You're going to need actually a data cable, SATA data cable. You're also going to need a SATA power connector. Most PSUs on pre-built systems or even normal modular or normal power supplies will come with more than one SATA power connector, so you're pretty much going to be good to go. So once you've plugged all that in, SSDs are hot swappable, so you can always install and connect your SSD once it's plugged into the motherboard. I wouldn't recommend plugging it directly into the motherboard when the PC is on. What I would recommend is to switch off your PC fully, flick the switch at the back, make sure all the power is drained, and as an added bonus, just press the power switch at the top or the side or wherever your power button is, just to make sure that any residual power has been removed from your motherboard. The last thing you want to do is start plugging things in with still power in there. You could cause yourself a bit of damage, and it could really screw your day up like it has today for me, for my camera. Yes, you thing there. It's looking at me and I don't like it. So, what's next? Well, I'm glad you asked that. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so you've plugged in your SSD, you've got it all nice and fancy, you've done all your cable management, and what do you do next? Well, what I would do is go down here, open that, and type in disk management, D-I-S-K, management. It's not easy doing this one-handed. And you'll see something similar to that. Create and format hard disk partitions. Click on it, boom, and you come up with that. So, most rather than not, your new SSD will be around here. It will be underneath your normal HDD if you're installing a second drive. If this is your first drive, it will be up here, and it will be partitioned when you boot up and put Windows on. So you'll have EFI systems, Windows boot partition, and then your healthy recovery backup position there. And then this, on my PC, is the new drive. Now, up here, disk 0, which is what's known on a PC as drive 0. Your new disk will be disk 2, and it will tell you the size and what you've got. But most often than not, once you go to actually install it, it will not have a drive letter. So, you can always do this. And you'll either click on change, and it'll ask you there to change drive letter. Always make sure that is clicked in to assign the new drive letter. Otherwise, just say mount in the following empty NTSF folder, which we wouldn't worry about this just yet. But that is what you basically will see when you're driving for your drive partition. Now, let's say you have just installed your boot drive in, and you've just migrated Windows to your new SSD. What do you do then? Well, once you've restarted your computer, as I'm about to do now, bye! First off, you need to figure out which key brings you into your boot menu. I think mine's either F12 or delete. I can't actually remember. I should have really checked this before I did this video, but that's me for you. I really think these videos out, which, to be fair, doesn't really help anybody. So, I think it's D, so let's mash the D key. It's not the delete key, is it? Ah, there we go, it was. Right, UEFI BIOS utility. You will have a BIOS very similar to this, and you'll see in the top boot. Now that's not telling you to put some boots on. Basically what it's showing you is you have the fast boot, which is enabled, NVMe support, which is your NVMe SSD, which is on your motherboard if you have one, usually right about there. Is it? Nope, she's there. There she is. There's the screws. There we are. So if you go on the bottom, it says boot option 1, Windows Boot Manager, and there it's seen Western Digital WD20. That is my hard disk drive. That's basically telling me that my boot order is actually on the hard drive. Now there is the second H, that's the SSD. Windows Boot Manager is actually on the hard drive because it's selecting a hard drive first, because the operating system is on the hard drive. You want it booting from the hard drive to actually boot your PC. However, if you have a new SSD with Windows on and you want to use your NVMe drive, you would go into there, you would select your new disk, and then what you do is you just go across to exit, and you go to save, changes and exit. So save changes and reset, or you can load optimize defaults. I have not changed anything as yet because there's really nothing to change because I haven't got my boot operating system on the SSD yet. So what we'll do is we'll just exit, discard changes and exit, but it really doesn't matter. But you've done everything you can, and that's it. So back up to the main cam. And that is pretty much it for sorting out and installing your new SSD. There's really not a lot to it. It's just a case of plugging in a couple of wires and then finding somewhere for your SSD to live. Once you're happy where that SSD is, then you can leave it there and let it sort of sit happily where it is, because it's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is just sit there and work. Now, the main difference between an HDD and an SSD is because an SSD is a solid state drive. There is no moving parts. So the information is constantly there. It's boom, turn on your PC, boots. And if you've got a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte SSD as your main drive, loading files, saving files, even transferring files is so much faster with an SSD. It's lightning quick than using a spinning drive, which I've got in there at the moment, which you could probably hear now is ticking away like a bomb. Oh, no. It's ticking away like a clock. It's literally ticking away because it's loading optimized defaults, it's loading programs, it's loading pages, it's doing a lot of background tasks, and that's why you can hear all this rattling and maneuvering, which is actually the arm on the plateau receiving the data that's on the drive. As mine's just starting up there, this is all loaded up. All I'm going to do now is put my SSD where I'd like it to live, do a bit of cable management, and that is it. All done for the SSD. Now, the video I did before was probably a bit more in depth on the camera, but as my camera decided to die, I'm back to using my phone. Now, hopefully, I can transfer all this media to my PC and use the editing software and make it really decent, like a really crisp, good edit. If it will not, then unfortunately it's done on Movie Maker on my phone. But fear not, because it's all going to be fantastic. We're going to get this sorted. This channel is going to be moving forwards in the next couple of months. There will be a channel relaunch next year, 2021, with brand new updated graphics. This entire studio will be redone. New cameras, new recording software, new lights. The whole thing is exploding into fantasticness. Is that a word? Fantasticness? Let's use it anyway. This is going to be monumental. I'm putting my foot firmly into the tech shoe, shall we say. And things are going to be moving and things are going to be progressing. Don't forget, EDT is on Instagram, it's also on Twitter, it's on Reddit, and there is a Facebook page as well if you want to go down there and see where the latest updates are, pictures, reviews, me waffling on about various crap in my everyday life. This channel will also have vlogs, not just vlogs on tech, but vlogs of me doing absolutely anything. Washing my car, feeding the cat, maybe even taking a shower. No, not taking a shower. There's an OnlyFans page for that. Yeah, 20 quid a month if you want to see some serious action. But, on the note of this video, I'm still keeping my tripod. The new camera will be coming soon. It better be worth it. It's costing me in excess of nearly 500 quid. We're talking HD, we're talking 4K. We're talking this PC getting a monumental full upgrade to use DaVinci Resolve and the full potential of the editing software that's on it. Yes. Let's breathe and relax. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell because you'll be notified of any further uploads when I do them. And yes, I am doing further uploads. Don't think I'm not, because I am. Come over to the Facebook page, have a look, have a waffle, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Even Instagram, even Twitter, if you like my Twitter account, just give it a thumbs up for a follow. You'll see things probably a lot sooner than you do on YouTube. So from me today on this rather wet, cold, dark Friday morning, yes, I have been up since 3:30 to do this video. I've even recorded this video twice, which I really didn't want to, but I have done anyway. That's the thing about doing videos. It all goes Pete Tong sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.